I used to have embarrassing extreme flakes all over my clothing. When I would tap my head, it was like a rainfall of dead skin all over my jackets, my scarf, my skin, my body, and it was super embarrassing. But thankfully, I was able to heal my dandruff or seborrheic dermatitis naturally, even after the doctor told me that there was no cure and I would have to live with it for the rest of my life. So if you want to find out how I was able to do this, stay tuned and let's get into it. Hello, my name is Ashanwa. I am into style, fashion, and self-care. If that sounds like your thing, I encourage you to subscribe and stick around. Today's video is on how I healed my seborrheic dermatitis or extreme dandruff or flaky scalp naturally. Today I have 5 tips that I'll be sharing with you on how I was able to reverse the seborrheic dermatitis or the extreme scalp dandruff that I had for years, actually, specifically when I went back to a relaxer. And a lot of it was hormonal induced, which I'll go into later in the video. But before we dive in, what is seborrheic dermatitis? Seborrheic dermatitis is your body's inflammatory response to a fungus overgrowth. Well, it's to a fungus called malassezia. It is fed by oils, and some things that trigger it are stress, lifestyle, diet, hormones, is what I was told by my dermatologist when I went to visit one. Apparently, there's no cure, but I was able to find a cure for mine, and that's what I'll be sharing with you all today. And essentially, it just leads to extreme flakiness and itchiness and sensitivity of the scalp, even scabbing to an extent. I had scabs as well that were really, really painful. So I'm so grateful that I was able to heal mine naturally, and I'll be sharing my tips with you all today because I know how embarrassing and self-conscious it can make people. At least I know it made me feel that way. And yeah, I have solutions for you all today. The first thing that I have that was able to solve my issues with seborrheic dermatitis is garlic. I consume garlic on an empty stomach every single day. I chop it up when I wake up first thing in the morning. I leave it to sit for 1 to 2 minutes while I take my supplements, drink water, rehydrate from the night, and I swallow it like little tablets with water on an empty stomach. So what garlic does is that it has this compound called allicin, which has a host of health benefits, including being anti-inflammatory, antifungal, which is what the malassezia fungus, which is what seborrheic dermatitis is, the fungal is your body's reaction to a fungus in the body. And it also is anti-inflammatory as well. So it's anti-inflammatory, antifungal, and antibacterial. It's really great for your immune system. It is amazing for helping reset your gut microbiome because it does contain prebiotics. And it also is rich in collagen as well. So it's going to help with your hair health and your nail and your skin too. So garlic is such a superfood. I will always consume garlic every single day. I haven't fallen ill in the past year, and I think a lot of it is thanks to my lifestyle, but it's also thanks to garlic, the habits I have of consuming garlic every day on an empty stomach. And I actually stumbled upon this by mistake. I started taking raw garlic to help with cholesterol issues because I struggled with high cholesterol, which I was also able to reverse naturally without going on statins. I started on garlic, and I noticed that a byproduct of that was that my scalp was not as flaky anymore. And I was like, the only change I had was garlic. So I cannot sing as much praises to this natural herb, and I really suggest that you get it into your diet as soon as possible. It's better to take it raw than have it cooked because you want to preserve the compounds and the health benefits. So going raw is the best route. I can't really recommend the supplements or the pills, garlic pills, because I haven't done that, but I feel the efficacy of raw garlic bulbs is best cut fresh every single day and had on an empty stomach. So garlic is the first thing. The second option is more expensive, but this product has been a game changer as well because it does help with your gut, balancing your gut microbiome, and it's a system called the Feel Great System by Unicity. This is what it looks like. It's a two-part system. There is the Unimate and there is the Balance. Unimate is a concentrated version of yerba mate, which is known to help with cholesterol, weight management, boost your body's natural GLP-1s, and a host of other things as well. If you want me to do a video on this, please let me know. I'll be happy to do it. This was one of the ways I was able to reverse my high cholesterol by consuming yerba mate daily as well. But for seborrheic dermatitis, balancing your gut is key, and that's my second point. I was able to balance my gut health with this system. The Balance is a fiber matrix that helps with blood sugar and cholesterol support, but it also has prebiotics and probiotics that help to balance your gut microbiome, like I said. So this system has been super influential in the balancing of my gut, which also helped with my scalp issues. Because again, malassezia is a yeast overgrowth, and a lot of that does start in the gut. So once you fix your gut health, you're going to see improvements in your scalp health too. So that's point number 2, balancing my gut health. And I use currently, the garlic is what I do use the garlic, but another thing I add on top of it is the Feel Great system. And that's another option if you feel like garlic is too hardcore and you don't want to go down that route. I recommend this system, and if you try it, please let me know what you think. Number 3, this is a more practical thing, but your diet, really reducing your sugar intake. I'm honestly, in all transparency, still working on this because I do have a sweet tooth, but instead of having white sugar, I try to use monk fruit sweetener because that doesn't spike and your body's blood sugar or insulin response, and it doesn't spike your blood sugar levels. So reducing your sugar intake, so simple carbs like white breads, white rice, and switching to more refined carbohydrates like brown rice, whole wheat bread or whole grain bread, and things like that, I have found that has helped to reduce flare-ups. Because again, white sugar and white carbs, simple carbs, are honestly the devil. You want to have it in moderation. I'm not going to say you should completely eliminate it, especially if you are on this Feel Great system. You don't have to eliminate all the carbs you have because it's to regulate your body's absorption of those simple sugars. But if you're not on the Feel Great system, like I recommend, I suggest that you limit your sugar intake and simple carbohydrate intake and replace it for more complex carbs instead. Point number 4 is to reduce your stress levels. Stress is something else that can exacerbate seborrheic dermatitis or extreme dandruff. So if your cortisol levels are high, that's something you want to look into and manage. I was able to manage my cortisol levels and reverse high cortisol by incorporating adaptogens, working out consistently, whether that's through walking 10K steps every single day or doing the Stairmasters. But doing a workout that I love was instrumental. And third is also sleep. Having at least 8 to 10 hours of sleep consistently, going to bed at the same time, waking up at the same time. It's so instrumental and game changer for really balancing your hormones. We also have adaptogens, which I use. My favorites are currently ashwagandha, and yerba mate actually is an adaptogen, but there are others like maca, which are really good for balancing your hormonal or your cortisol levels. Adaptogens are essentially herbs that help your body adapt to stress on a hormonal level. So you will see improvements in your stress and your sense of calm when you incorporate those into your routine and your diet. So that is the 4th thing that I did to reverse my seborrheic dermatitis and keep it at bay for over a year now, and that is managing my stress levels. Number 5, last but not the least, but this is kind of tied to the previous points, but it is balancing my hormones. Hormonal fluctuations are a big trigger for seborrheic dermatitis. So if you have high cortisol, like I said earlier on, if you are constantly having insulin spikes, or you have high insulin or your insulin resistance, that can cause seborrheic dermatitis too. And if your feminine hormones as well, so your estrogen and progesterone are also thrown off, that can lead to scalp health concerns too. So really balancing those hormones and making sure that you're living in harmony with your body. How I was able to do that, because I did struggle with unbalanced feminine hormones as well. and I had extreme PMS and things like that. So what I did was I upped my fiber intake. That's number one. Fiber is amazing for your gut health because it helps keeps you regular, fuller longer, which can lead to weight loss, but it's also food for the bacteria in your gut too. And you need to feed the bacteria in your gut so that it can do its job properly. Fiber is the first thing. The second thing I'm going to repeat myself is getting 8 to 10 hours of sleep nightly. Number 3 is cycle syncing, really being able to balance your workload based on your cycle and your diet, your exercise, your rest based on where you are in your cycle. We as women have 4 phases in our menstrual cycle, so we're 4 different women and we should be doing 4 different things, different things during each phase of our cycle. So if you want me to do a video on cycle syncing and how I was able to sync my cycle with my lifestyle and really improve the quality of my life, please let me know and I'm happy to do a video on that. And last but not the least is adaptogens. So I already mentioned that earlier on, but that really helped me with balancing my hormones. So that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really encourage you to try my tips and report back to me if you've seen any changes or improvements in your seborrheic dermatitis flare-ups. I'm pretty sure you will. I didn't want to include products in this video. I'm happy to if you want to recommend products that provide instant relief from seborrheic dermatitis while you work on the inside, but I truly believe it's important to heal your body from the inside out so you don't have to rely on products. It's less expensive. It does require more discipline, but it's less expensive in the long run, and it's also better for you because you ultimately are a healthier individual for it. So thank you for watching. Let me know what more you want to see, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.